Joining us now, and I am delighted they're with us, Monica Crowley, former Trump Assistant Secretary of Treasury, and E.J. Antoni, public finance economist at the Heritage Foundation. Monica, let's start with you. Does she know, in your mind, what she is advocating? Because even Krugman understands where price controls take us. Or is this just a campaign line to try to, bring in some votes in a very close election?
Well, it's a good question, Laura. I mean, it drives me crazy when I hear people say, well, they just don't understand how the free market works. My view is that you're dealing with absolute ideologues, and Kamala Harris is certainly one, and you laid out the socialist, the Marxist approach that she's embraced throughout her entire political life. You laid that out very well. I think that these people do understand how the free market works. They just reject it. So while she's going to try to cast herself as some sort of fiscal moderate to attract voters, her entire political career and her economic policy positions have belied all of that. She is the most radical vice president. She has embraced massive expansions of government, massive government spending, higher taxes, suffocating regulations, the Green New Deal, socialized medicine, and selling out to China. All of those things are hallmarks of where Kamala Harris has been on the economy and the policy positions that she has embraced. If she changes now, it's simply to get elected. Once she is in that White House, her policies are essentially going to be the coup de grace of the American capitalist system.
All right. Well, Trump compared Kamala's plans to that of Venezuela's. Watch.
She's running on the Maduro plan. We call it the Maduro plan, like something straight out of Venezuela or the Soviet Union. This announcement is an admission that her economic policies have totally failed and caused really a catastrophe for our country, and beyond that, a catastrophe in the world.
Well, EJ, they were ridiculing Trump the other day over on MSNBC by saying, oh, he's claiming that she's like a communist. That is just ridiculous, and it shows that the Republicans are out of ideas. But isn't he substantively correct on where this philosophy would logically land us?
Well, Laura, I think one of the interesting criticisms here of President Trump is the fact that these people are simply saying he's wrong without providing any evidence. Please explain to me how Ms. Harris's policies are not, in fact, aligned with the communist ideology when she's talking about trying to artificially set prices for, I don't care if it's food or rent, you name it. And at the end of the day, President Trump is absolutely correct here. If you employ the same policies as we have had in these other communist countries around the world, you will get the same results here. Just like we had gas shortages in the 1970s, as you already mentioned, you would get food shortages here in the United States if you impose the same kind of price controls on grocery stores.
Now, President Biden appeared with Kamala Harris at this first campaign event. That's a grudging appearance, I'm sure. But he wants to reassure everybody that they're all for capitalism, but watch.
Look, I'm a capitalist. I have no problem with companies making money, but not by price gouging. Americans don't like being played for suckers. We believe we should be patient, but there should be reasonable profits, not unreasonable.
Monica, what I was thinking to myself is what Hunter made over there in China, were those reasonable profits? I guess it depends on what the word reasonable means. Right?
Yes, right. I mean, he can call himself a capitalist all day long, Laura, but that doesn't make him so. And those comments really echo what Barack Obama said when he was first running in 2007 and 2008, and then how he governed. Remember, Obama used to say, at some point, you've made enough money. This is the Marxist mindset that is completely dominating the Democrat Party. And we are really in the end stages here of trying to save free market capitalism and frankly, the country at large, because they've been at this for so long, chipping away at our systems, our economic system, the border, all of it. And so, tomorrow she's going to make this speech. She's going to try to reposition herself as some sort of moderate. But there is a track record here of the last 3.5 years where we have seen an historic catastrophe that she owns. She broke this economy. She bought it.
Yeah, price controls aren't moderate. Big problem with that one. I think it's very important, EJ, what you posted, I believe today on X, about household wealth. Now, the press won't cover this, but these are facts. Household wealth increased substantially more under Trump, 27.9% versus 3.2% under Biden. That's the election, in my view. The wealth gap between Biden and Trump, and obviously transpose what Harris is going to do with price controls. What drove the big increase in household wealth under Trump compared to the erosion under Biden?
Well, Laura, it's a great question. I think it had a lot to do with both regulatory reform and also tax reform. When you get to keep more of your own money, you have a huge incentive to work more, to work harder, to earn more. And people did that under Trump. And that was a key reason why, following that Trump tax reform, we actually saw tax revenue increase to record highs in the years thereafter. But on the regulatory front, this is something I think the administration didn't get anywhere near enough credit for. They actually, through these regulatory reforms, reduced costs to households by about $2,000 per year. Conversely, what have we seen under the Biden-Harris regime? Exactly the opposite. Households have faced a higher regulatory burden of about $5,000 per household per year. And those numbers, by the way, aren't even included in any of the inflation metrics. So when we talk about how the CPI, for example, the Consumer Price Index, signals that it costs X number of thousands of dollars more per year per household, that doesn't even include these regulatory costs.
Oh, red tape for the Greeniacs and all, the Enviro agenda and everything else they're piling on at the EPA. This has been a nightmare for small businesses and families. EJ, you pointed that out in that chart. Thank you. Monica, great analysis as always. Thank you both.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.